You are?
One more.
When
Sorry, look, one second. Need anything? Give me a call, I'll give you a call. Get some stuff sorted. Thanks very much. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
split decision, what's your initial reaction? Split decision.
Well, first, I didn't think he was getting up in the 12th round. I was shocked. I thought that Deontay won. He had 2 knockdowns. Split decision. We could do it again. Doesn't seem as though Fury wants it right away, so don't know.
Did you make note of the count? I couldn't,
heard,
because the crowd, because I missed
that
it.
It was longer. Doesn't matter. He got up. He survived the fight. You know, it's fine.
You've been in the heavyweight division for years. Any adjustments that you thought Deontay could have made mid-fight that would have?
Definitely.
Elaborate.
Well, he felt he could knock him out, and he could. But you don't get a knockout by just lobbing balls. And he said it after. He said, I was too anxious and knew it.
Obviously, moving forward, you want to go home and rest, enjoy the holidays. Tyson Fury, obviously, it makes better sense because you got the 2 names. It comes off as a year PR. More people will be attached to the fight. Anthony Joshua said he was going to bed during the fight.
I don't believe him.
No one believes you, but how proud of you that in addition to it being a great fight, it promotes itself. These 2 men promote themselves moving forward.
Well, that was the idea. You took something where the guy who is, quote, the man, won't fight you. So we made something where originally Eddie Hearn said, oh, they're not fighting. Then he says, oh, they're doing it for publicity. We proved we put on a great show and a great fight.
Now, the business of boxing, you have the Zone on one side, PBC on one side. Who's going to be the mediator?
Me. But when people want to make a deal, they make a deal. And if they want to, they'll do it.
When was the last time Eddie Hearn contacted you?
Last year.
For real, for real?
For real. He never...
No emails, no phone calls, no texts?
No, his father. He doesn't even call or anything.
Did you, speaking of his father, this is oh, you're going to love this. Did you hear the interview, IFL? Actually, he did the interview, IFL, when he said they actually had a plan for Anthony Joshua. Feel free to jump in too. They had a plan for him. They wanted him to fight a couple of guys. They wanted to delay. Basically, the game plan was to delay the Anthony Joshua fight.
We knew that.
Okay.
I always said that. Because the thing is, if people want to make a fight, they make a fight. Every heavyweight champ over here tonight was asked, would you fight for $50 million in a second? They said, of course.
Deontay, quote, calls Anthony Joshua a coward. If you can describe Anthony Joshua in one word, what would it be?
I would call him someone who is influenced by people around him and not strong enough of his own mind to do what he wants to.
He's a beta. He's a beta, not an alpha?
Probably. I don't know him well enough personally, but the fact is Deontay and I are real close. And we've been together 11 years. And I explained to him the options. I can't make him do anything. If Deontay said, give me 25 or 30 million, and someone came up with it, he would take it.
Any anxious moments in this fight for you?
Oh, yeah. Because I saw early that he wasn't putting together what he had been training to do. He was supposed to lead with a very stiff jab, and he didn't. And the wild rights, the guy is slick enough to avoid.
In the first couple of rounds, the jab to the body was there.
Yes.
And I was bewildered why he went away from it. But obviously, fatigue sets in. Tall men don't like bending their knees. We see it in the NBA basketball games. And but moving forward, how would you grade Deontay? Oh, let me ask you this question. Let's scratch that. He's been anointed ambassador of the culture. You know, Radio Raheem, he and him went viral. Can you speak to that? You've been in boxing, you've been alive in America for a long time, and can you just elaborate on, he's been anointed a leader of the culture?
I don't know how to really comment on that.
Sure.
But he is a real person. He has, not that he's a politician, but he has real feelings. He knows what he feels is right and wrong, and he's not afraid to say it.
Tyson Fury, obviously, he would love to have a rematch because he obviously wants the American people to come on board.
Then just say it, and we'll do it.
Really? It's that easy?
Yeah.
How much time do these guys need?
Hey, That's why you got a manager or a lawyer, and you figure it out.
How much do you think, because we got a pay-per-view in January, pay-per-view in March, would you, Cinco de Mayo, would you want to tie that date in now?
They have to call to make a fight. We make a fight, we'll figure a date. What's the difference if it's April, May, or June? Yeah.
What are you doing during the holidays?
I'm going to spend time with these people who I don't spend enough time with.
Thank you. Okay, prospects, who do you have coming up? And
Effie.
F.A. is your guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Richard Schaefer's taking all of that from you. Richard Schaefer said, that's my man.
Yeah, he's the promoter.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, I brought him over from Nigeria.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So we'll never see the F.A. Deontay Wilder fight.
Nah, he's too young.
Too young.
24.
They'll miss each other. Yeah, they'll miss each
You know,
other.
and he has 6 fights. He'll learn, he'll grow, and he'll be a champion.
My last thing, Deontay Wilder's going to have to change his moniker if you don't knock him out in the next fight.
Well, let's say that, look, if in 42 fights you have 39 knockouts, still pretty good.
That's great. Not pretty good. That's
Yeah.
great. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure covering you this
Have
week.
a good holiday.
Thank you, King. Yep.
Shelly, do you have a moment?